What are your negative thought patterns? With BellaMima Lifestyles, I really don't want to motivate people in the sense that I give you a speech and you're motivated and it maybe makes your one day better. I want to actually, with my coaching business, I've been getting in people's heads and asking them a lot of questions and figuring out their thought patterns. And then we'll keep working and I'll poke and I'll poke and I'll poke and ask them questions until they realize how negative one of their thought patterns is. And if you can actually realize something like that at a deep level, it will change you for forever. But I always tell people to go home and meditate on the change too, because realizing something and when you really realize something about yourself that's been negatively affecting you your whole life, like you feel embarrassed. And that's my favorite moment when I've been coaching clients lately is when they're just like, oh man, like when you say it like that, I feel really stupid. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. That means you just had an epiphany. That means you're not gonna think that way anymore because you feel stupid. So I know for me, just ingrained in me since childhood. And I've never been able to break that pattern until about 2 months ago. And I'm still working on it. It's a process, but I always had the feeling that I wasn't doing enough. And I'm a go-getter and I'm an overachiever, and that's kind of my style. But that guilt in my head when I took a week off and wanted to relax was ruining me. It was making me not love myself. Part of me felt like I didn't deserve good things. I didn't deserve to just relax. I wasn't doing enough. There was always something to be done. So I had a mentor show up in my life who was amazing, who helped me realize this. And he came down on me hard. And he was like, stop doing that. Like your expectations are ridiculous and they're not helping you. And he made me feel terrible. And it was great. It was the best gift ever because I put myself in a mental training camp. I kind of looked at it like a fight camp in December and I said, you know what? I'm not drinking, no wine. When I'm uncomfortable, I'm just going to sit and deal with it. And I'm just going to meditate every day for half an hour. And I'm just going to flip that inner voice that's been there my whole life, that's always kind of lingering when I take a relaxing day that's saying, oh, you should be doing this and you should be doing that and you should be doing this and you should be at the gym 5 times this week and you should be. And I shut that voice off and I started being more present in my day and just realizing like, hey, today I might go to the gym, tomorrow I might not. And however my day unfolds is okay. As long as I'm consciously making healthy choices most of the time and I'm going with what I feel like doing, and my life just keeps getting better. And it's funny because when you have all these shoulds in your head of what you should be doing, you're not open to bumping into people and having your day change. And sometimes, like yesterday, for example, I'm dog sitting right now and I took dogs for a walk and I ran into this amazing stranger and we chatted for like an hour and I ended up taking the dogs on a really long walk. And it kind of changed my day around a little bit because I was going to do the short walk in the morning and the long walk later. But I I don't have that idea now of like, oh, I should do that right now. So I'm just kind of open to like, oh, this woman's really nice. And I'm just going to walk and chat with her for a bit and pick her brain. And she picked my brain and it was great. So stop shoulding all over yourself. And whatever that thought pattern is that you have, I know you have one because we all do. Just think of your worst quality like, oh, I'm always mad at myself. Or are you in a yoga class or at a workout class looking at everyone else, comparing yourself to them? Like, take a month. I mean, I say a month just because it's a decent amount of time, like however amount of time you need. And just, you need to focus on that. Like, hey, voice, hey, inner voice that's ruining my day. Like, I'm going to turn you off. And there's tons of ways you can do that, but it takes a lot of time and attention and it's not going to happen overnight. But if you can flip that inner voice to be kinder to yourself, whatever it is, your whole life will be better. And that's better than motivation. So that's my goal when I coach clients is I'm going to give you a moment where you cry and you feel embarrassed and you're going to be like, "Oh man, like I'm my own worst enemy." And I don't look at the clock when I'm coaching clients either because that moment sometimes comes really naturally and it happens quick. And sometimes a couple hours go by and I can't get that moment, in which case that's only happened once or twice, but in which case I'm going to have clients come back because I can motivate you and tell you things to do, but that's not going to help you in the long run. If I can ask you the right questions and you come to a conclusion that changes how you look at the world and yourself, then that change is permanent. So that is my goal with BellaMima Lifestyles.